Sunday, time for a new episode of Record Collecting with the Quill. Today we're dealing with solo albums. There's tons of them, good ones, bad ones, and everything in between. I decided to choose some of my favorite ones in a couple of different genres. Solo albums, they're quite interesting. I decided to go with solo albums either made when you are still with your successful band or your most well-known band, or the first one you made after leaving it, or the band disbanding. There's tons of cool stuff. But, before we start, make sure to hit that subscribe button and also hit that little notice bell and share with your friends. Well, first one. There's going to be a lot of CDs today. For some reason, I had most of those solo albums I had in mind, I had on CD, but don't worry, it's going to be some vinyl as well. But the first one is this one. Joey Tempest, the singer from Europe, the first album he made called A Place to Call Home. This was really, really successful in Sweden. I don't know about the rest of the world, but this is a really good one. This is a little bit more mellow compared to his stuff in Europe, but this one is still rocking. The one he made afterwards, the second one, is even a bit more mellow. But this one is radio-friendly rock in, I would say, somewhere in between Bruce Springsteen, Tom Petty, or Bryan Adams. But there's some really strong tracks on this one. I really enjoy it. We Come Alive, Under the Influence, A Place to Call Home. Some really cool stuff. If you haven't heard it, check it out. It's well worth a listen. While speaking of Tom Petty, you can't really talk about solo albums without mentioning this one. Then you could debate if it is. It is actually. Tom Petty is was very adamant that this is a solo album, and indeed it is. He did 3 during his career, but this is the first one, Full Moon Fever. Jeff Lynne producing, but most of the Heartbreakers guys are still on this album, I think, save for the drummer Stan Lynch. But this one is an all-time classic. You have Free Falling, I Won't Back Down. Tons of great songs on this one, and it was done rather quick, and I think that was mostly because Jeff Lynne only had a small time schedule to do this, and that's why it ended up being a solo album. And then they made another one, Into the Great Wide Open, with the full band. But this is a fantastic album, some fantastic tracks, as most of you probably know, but you can't mention solo albums without this one. Next one, I'm a really big fan of Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and everything sort of connected with them. So the first one I decided to go with is this one, Stephen Stills' first solo album from, I believe, 70 or 71. They all did solo albums around that time just to sort of ease the tension within the band, and this one is a great one. It's a star-studded effort. This one, you have Jimi Hendrix is guesting, you have Eric Clapton, you have Ringo Starr, but the main star of the album is Stephen Stills himself. His most famous track, Love the One You're With, starting out on this album. I'm really fond of the track Black Queen. It's an acoustic song, kind of bluesy. I always enjoy that one as well. If you ever heard this one, check it out. The cover is a little bit corny with him sitting there in the snow and some, I don't know, red giraffe or something. But anyway, it's a good album. Check it out. And as I said, they all did their own albums around that time. And this is another favorite. This is Graham Nash's Songs for Beginners. He made around the same time. And they're all guesting David Crosby. You have Stephen Stills on this one as well. And Neil Young as well. Also great tracks. Graham is a little bit more, he came from a pop background compared to Stephen Stills. Is a little bit, he came from pop as well, but he's even a little bit more, I would say, nice harmonies. He came from the Hollies in the UK, and this one is sort of nicer one, even though the standout track for me is the track Chicago, is a little bit more, a little bit heavier, but really nice pop songs on this one. If you haven't heard it, check it out. Graham Nash, Songs for Beginners. Also, if you've been watching this channel, you know I'm a big fan of Black Crowes. And if you're gonna mention any of the soul albums made in connection with that band, you have to go with this one. Mark, as they say, fucking Ford, if you're a Black Crowes fan. And his first solo, It's About Time, is from, I think, 2002. This is a fantastic album for everyone enjoying just good rock music with great guitar playing. I guess a lot of cool guests as well. You have Craig Ross from Lenny Kravitz's band. You have the guys from Government Mule are guesting as well. Great songs as well. He's sort of, I think it's a shame he's not a part of the Black Crowes reunion. Went to see Magpie Salute a couple of years ago, and he really is the #1 guitarist connected with that band. He has a fantastic way of making his guitar sing. It's kind of difficult to find this one, but I think it's available on Spotify, so you can listen to it. Anyway, it's super cool album. Mark Ford, It's About Time. Next one, you could debate a little bit, but in fact, or indeed it is a soul album. Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare. It's a little bit confusing if you're not familiar with the whole idea. It was that Alice Cooper was originally a band, but then this one is the first solo album he did with a different bunch of guys backing him. And this is one of my favorite, if not the favorite, Alice Cooper album. It's a concept album for those of you who's not familiar with it, about the young guy Steven and sort of his nightmares. Really fantastic songwriting, great playing by the band. There's some fantastic musicians. Dick Wagner on guitar, especially, is a favorite of mine. Has done a lot of stuff with Alice Cooper and a bunch of other. He's played on a couple of Kiss albums as well, and his own band Ursa Major is really cool. His group he started out with. I'm rambling now, sorry. You have some fantastic. You have one of the best ballads ever. Only Women Bleed on this one. You have Department of Youth, and fantastic album. Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare. Next one is this one. It's Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains and his first solo album called Boggy Depot. And this one, solo albums sort of usually go either in a quite different way than what you're supposed to hear or what you used to hear. But this one is basically, it sounds like Alice in Chains quite a lot, and it's not, I mean, Jerry's the main writer, but you also have the drummer Sean is playing drums on all tracks here, and you also have Mike Inez on bass on a bunch of songs, and also Rex Brown from Pantera. But this is really sort of a forgotten Alice in Chains album. There's some fantastic songs on this one. Great playing, and he made some really good. He made a release just recently, a new solo album. I haven't heard it yet, but he usually makes really good stuff, Jerry. And if you haven't heard this one, check it out. It's some great tracks. The first one, Dick Eye, is really cool. I like My Song as well. Some really cool tracks. And the last one. This one as well, in the same sort of style. Chris Cornell's first Euphoria Morning, and they changed the title actually. I didn't know that until I read up a little bit on it today. It was supposed to have morning as in mourn someone, but they changed the title just before the release, and then they re-changed the title a couple of years later. This is sort of everything connected with Chris Cornell today feels a little bit sad somehow. It was sad that we lost him. He had a lot of more stuff in him. I'm pretty sure of that. This one is kind of sort of psychedelic rock music, more in the vein of late 60s, but you can still hear, I mean, his unidentifiable voice and great songwriting. It's not as maybe as so direct in a way. There's a couple of tracks that are a little bit more direct, but still enjoy this one a lot, even ever since it came out, and it's perfect Sunday record, just walking around in the house and just doing nothing, listening to this one. But as I said, everything connected with Chris Cornell is feels kind of sad listening to this to his music, but still glad we have it around to sort of help us mourn. Oh, it was a nice way of rounding that out. Anyway, that's my sort of, I think it was 8 of my favorite soul albums. What's your favorite ones? Let me know in the comment section. It's always cool to hear your opinion and find some new music I'm not aware of. So please leave some comments in the comment section, and I also will post a couple of tracks as usual in the Spotify playlist. You find a link below, and follow us on social media. It's the QUILL Sweden. We had a cool announcement this week. We're opening up for Evergrey here in Sweden. We're doing 3 shows with them in October, November, and December in Stockholm, Gothenburg, and Malmö, I believe. So if you're anywhere near those cities, come see us. And also we have the January tour coming up quite soon as well. So it will be a real joy getting out on the road again. So anyway, thanks for listening today, and see you all again next Sunday with a new subject. Cheers and enjoy your week. Bye for now.